said that was the first time that I was having an executive in the project business use the word caring. Caring is a word that when I use in companies, people look at me and they go, Ravi, are you going soft on us? Right? Welcome to an episode of Strategic Conversations. We host insightful discussions with top business leaders. Today, we are hosting Mr. Steve Conway, the Senior Vice President of Process and Chemicals for Wood. Wood, of course, is the British multinational engineering and consulting firm based in Scotland with over $8 billion in annual revenues. Mr. Conway has over 4 decades of experience in the engineering and construction business, working for major firms. Mr. Conway will be a speaker at the Houston Strategy Forum's upcoming Project Strategy Symposiums. We are excited to host him. I am Ravi Kathuria, the president of the Houston Strategy Forum and author of the management and leadership book, How Cohesive is Your Company, and author of the book, Happy Soul, Hungry Mind. Strategic Conversations is hosted by the Houston Strategy Forum. If you value these conversations, please hit like and subscribe to the Houston Strategy Forum's YouTube channel. Today's episode is sponsored by Cohegic, my management consulting and executive coaching firm. Thank you for joining us today, and we are looking forward to a great discussion with Mr. Conway. Steve, thank you for taking the time. We are very happy to have you here in this strategic conversation, and we are really excited, sir, to host you on March 1st at the Project Strategy Summit.
Yeah, Ravi, really happy to be with you today, but also looking forward to the discussion on the 1st of March, which yes, I hope will be thoroughly enjoyed by all those there.
Yes. No, you're absolutely right, sir. I am looking forward to that. That panel is so powerful. Yep. And if you count the years of experience that panel has, that is some serious amount of experience that is going to be in that room. And I can hardly wait to hear that discussion among all of you project executives. I think that would be great. So speaking about that discussion that we're going to have on March 1st, the theme is the factors that deliver project success on a consistent basis. When you do projects after project, how do you guarantee a string of successes? What do you see in your long and cherished career? What do you see are the factors that drive project success?
So for me, Ravi, a lot of projects are driven by individuals that are driving the project. So the leader has a large part to play in making sure what is perceived as the way the project needs to be developed is actually the way it develops. But I see more and more today, I think long-term relationships and partnerships with companies, both on the contract and client side, I think forms the basis of that trust and that working relationship that I think can overcome the issues that may come out of projects. And what I see more and more is when we can get to a point, because a project has a start and has a finish.
Yes.
It either goes really well or it doesn't go really well. Whereas a partnership is seen to be a lot longer. And obviously, I think we all know in the world that we have to put a lot more into a partnership, but there's also a lot of benefit to come out of that, putting a lot more in.
Yes.
So I think there's the ability to grow an understanding, a trust, a transparency, and having that ability to intervene in a way that can be successful for both companies. I think is really important in how we navigate where we are today as a society, because life is changing in the way we manage projects. The world is changing in the projects that we have. And as we well know in the energy corridor, that we're now moving into a new transition. And I think getting ready for that transition with the expertise we had before but aligning that to what is needed today is where I think we need to be.
Yes, Steve, I love that point you have made just now. I think it's a very important point and deserves attention. I had hosted a top project executive a few years ago, and he pointed out to me, and this was news to me. He said, Ravi, look, 65% of major projects fail to deliver on at least one stated objective, right? And I was surprised. I said, are you kidding me? He said, no, that is the truth. Even it may be, it may overshoot the budget, or it may be late on the timetable, or some aspect of the project doesn't go. And sometimes, he said, many aspects of the project fail. And he said, look, we have studied that in his company. And he said, look, we studied and studied and to see why the problem was. And he said, as owner of these projects, what we found was that there was one key difference when the project was successful. And I said, what was that? He said, when there was caring between the teams, between the contractor teams and the subcontractors and the owner teams. He said, when there was caring for the project. And Steve, I was completely amazed by that answer, because the word caring, I had not heard at that point in executive ranks. Right? That was the first time that I was having an executive in the project business use the word caring. Caring is a word that when I use in companies, people look at me and they go, Ravi, are you going soft on us? Right? they're used to. And so that aspect, and which is what you have said, shared today, is that the relationship is far bigger than even that project, because that relationship, outlasts the project. And you say, if we have a relationship, hopefully all projects are successful. But if there is a project that is not successful, or that seems to be challenging, our relationship will overcome that challenge.
So let me take that word into a different context.
Yes.
And certainly something that I can relate to in projects that I've worked on, and in projects that we've had within our company. I think there's the caring aspect. I think you bring up really well. And I think is when we care, we usually work together.
Yes.
And I would push it to, when we care for what the project needs, we will deliver the project predictably the way we all believed it should be. But what I find too often is when we sit and see individuals, teams aren't successful. What is successful is a single team. And whether we like it or not, projects are made up of multiple teams,
Yes.
I mean, there's teams of teams and teams below those teams.
Yes.
And I think when we concentrate on what it is the project needs, rather than what the teams need, then we'll get to the point where we have one team developing and executing a project in a way that it should be executed. And that takes a long, and I think to my point is, when you have a partnership, you have the ability to have that discussion. You have that ability to see what good looks like, and you have the ability to intervene when it needs to be intervened, to steer the project in the right direction, because we're concentrating on what the project needs as opposed to what the teams need.
Yes, very, very well said, sir. Very well said. You're absolutely right. Is when we care about the projects and we are not looking at it, because sometimes we have teams that have a functional viewpoint, and that functional viewpoint cannot override the project viewpoint, right? All of that has to blend together to deliver project success. And so you have to care about your functional viewpoint, but you have to care about the other functional viewpoints and care about others, both on both sides of the aisle. So I think that is a great success factor. Appreciate that very much, sir. I want to ask you this last quick question, sir. Why do you think someone should take the time to come join us on March 1st? What are we going to discuss? Why should they be part of that discussion?
Well, I think taking time out of our busy schedules isn't always easy.
Yes.
You know, we all know that. But I think it's taking that time out to look at what we're actually doing as an industry, as individual companies, and learning from other people's experiences, sharing ideas. You know, I think in life, the sharing of ideas is really powerful, as long as we're respectful that they're ideas and not necessarily facts in stone, because everybody has an opinion. But I think we can have that diverse sense of here's what we see, you know, and I think having that ability to do that, I like the fact that we're sitting in a forum where we're waiting for basically talking with each other, but also including the audience.
Yes.
Because this isn't about presenting, and the information that you sent me about how we're having that day session sounds really, really good. And the fact that it's interactive, there's no PowerPoint presentations.
Yes.
We're there to listen, to debate, to have discussion, and entertain other people's thoughts that may take us down a completely different route.
Yes.
which could be good and could be bad. But I think we owe it to ourselves to take time out from what we're doing to get that knowledge from what we're doing day to day out into the public and debate on it, because in there may be that nugget that you might actually need to take back with you to your job. You know.
Yes, absolutely wonderful, Mr. Conway. You are so articulate. We should have you included as our spokesperson for the Houston Strategy Forum, because you said it so well. Absolutely, we are a discussion forum. There is no PowerPoint. There is no presentation. It's a discussion between the speakers and a discussion between the speakers and the audience, and we have no idea where the spontaneous dynamic discussion will lead to, and what nuggets, what diamonds we will find as we journey through this discussion. I think it's going to be wonderful. So I really appreciate you, sir, today for taking the time, and so excited to host you on March 1st. I hope everyone watching this video will join us March 1st and come participate in the discussion. I want to thank Mr. Conway for taking the time today, and hope to see you all March 1st. Thank you for watching this video.
Looking forward to it, Ravi. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.